Recently, I went to DefyAge and had an NAD infusion, IV bag directly into the vein with pure NAD pumped straight into the vein. What an experience. Now let's go over to Dr. Satbir to explain properly what NAD is.
So NAD plus is linked with your diurnal rhythm because you know how cells have a body clock. You know, sometimes you wake up middle of the night and you still know what time it is. It's because your cells know what time it is. And it's regulated by the amount of NAD plus you have in your body. So come 5 a.m. in the morning, it starts to peak, and then it gradually declines. That's why you should wake up in the morning and do all your physical activities. And then, you know, when you go traveling on a jet and you end up other side of the world, it's a different routine. And you know the jet lag happens because of the cells are confused. They're making too much NAD plus middle of the night, and you're all recharged.
Right.
Just like how you'll feel after that bag of NAD. Is how you feel middle of the night if you go to US or somewhere. It's all because of the NAD, and the cells are confused. So yeah, it should be taken first thing in the morning, no matter what form of NAD you're taking, NMN or NR, which are the oral supplements you can take to increase NAD plus. But talking about biological age, so if you could check the cell's biological age, if you could measure NAD plus in the cells, you can pretty much predict how old the person is. And you plot it against known statistics. You know, for example, they have the bell-shaped curve of 20 to 30 years old should have so much NAD. And then 30 to 40 should have so much NAD. And it's plotted against that, and that's how AI predicts your biological age. And I think we're a few years away from those tests being available for a couple of $100. It's already there in America.
So the NAD, like say if it declines during your life, but it peaks in the morning, so is it its ability to regenerate higher, or do we diminish over time, like ATP kind of thing? Or?
Yeah, so NAD is the precursor of ATP. And yes, it is highest in the morning, but you know the highest peak for a 50-year-old is different from a peak of a toddler. Or a peak of a 17-year-old would be definitely much higher than an older person's peak. So it's all relative. But yeah, you're making your best amount of NAD plus in the morning.
Wow. Okay.
And that's when melatonin is supposed to go down and NAD plus is going to go up. And that's your body clock, part of the circadian rhythm, a diurnal rhythm of your
Oh, I didn't know that.
body.
It's a differentiation. So NAD also has effect on recovering.
So what NAD does is it helps growth of capillaries or microcapillaries. So you know how a repetitive strain injury, what it is wear and tear. They tell you it's repetitive strain injury, or you know, I've got rotator cuff tendinopathy or Achilles tendinopathy or golfer's elbow or tennis elbow, and it's happened because the ability to heal has diminished. So a 50-year-old, if they type on the computer all day, they get tennis elbow without playing tennis. A 70-year-old takes off his shirt very quickly and gets a rotator cuff tear, not from playing tennis or you know doing push-ups, just from removing their clothes very quickly. So what is happening is, as teenagers, we did probably a million times more things. However, we never got RSI. It was because we had more NAD plus. It was because of that NAD plus we were building these micro capillaries and healing those tears. So every time, as you would know, you exercise, you get micro tears, right? If you don't have enough NAD plus, those tears accumulate to full-on tendinitis, tendinosis, snap of the rotator cuff muscles or tendons, because it accumulates, and that's called RSI. However, if you were taking some sort of NAD plus supplement, you would not end up in that place. You'll be like a teenager. You will tear, micro tear, you'll recover overnight, micro tear, recover.
And it makes you stronger over time because of the stress stimulus, right?
So NAD plus is the fountain of youth.
Right. So it almost turns like from a stress stimulus into something more chronic by your NAD dropping down.
That's right. Oh yeah, everything comes from reduction in NAD plus, and it interferes with everything. Your neurons in your brain are degenerating, not regenerating anymore. You know, your capillaries are not regenerating. You get heart attacks, you get angina, you get erectile dysfunction, you get peripheral vascular diseases, wounds don't heal, you get venous ulcers on legs. The ability to heal is not there. So just increasing NAD plus will have an enormous effect on all of these above.
Is it anti-inflammatory? Or should I say, would high inflammation affect NAD in your body?
high inflammation would make you age more quicker, and that would reduce your NAD plus. So old age is related to less NAD plus.
Yeah. Interesting.
It just gives you a new perspective to health.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, it really does. It really does.
Disease, well-being, youth.
Because your ATP, like basically winding down over time. Remember hearing about, you know, the bonding back of it. If we could continuously bond back, then we'd live forever, you know?
Yeah.
And then it degenerates down. But if NAD is the precursor to ATP,
Yes.
then theoretically, again, if you regenerate that, you'd regenerate your ATP more and therefore extend life.
And then there's some oral supplements, namely NR, which has been there for longest, and now NMN.
Yeah.
Now NR, nicotinamide riboside, is a precursor to NMN, which is nicotinamide mononucleotide.
Yeah.
And nicotinamide mononucleotide, which is NMN, is a precursor to NAD plus.
Yeah.
Nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. And then NAD plus is a precursor to ATP.
So this is basically what all of that would be converted into without having to do the conversion process.
True. So that's going to turn into ATP.
Yeah. There we go. Workout this afternoon is going to be nuts.
It will be. It'll be interesting to see how you feel, and especially because it's your first bag.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly it, because the NMN made a huge difference. Again, as I said, I don't drink alcohol, my nutrition's in check, stuff like that, so I feel every difference, and energy levels are just to another level.
Afterwards, felt great, hydrated, all my veins are out, I was very hydrated, drove home, and it hit me all at once. And all I can explain it was the biggest amount of energy hit I've ever felt in my life, but not like a fake energy hit like coffee, where you feel a little bit high, nothing like that. I'm talking pure energy, like a child, like I felt like I could barely keep still. In fact, it actually gave me empathy for children. When you're trying to talk to them and they're moving around, you're like, what's wrong with you? Just keep still. Why can't you focus? I literally said, I can't do admin today. Like, that's out the window. I cannot focus. I need to move. I need to run a marathon. Long story short, it was a fantastic experience. It's something that I'm going to do again this weekend, because this week I'm doing a video on how to be the healthiest you can. The healthiest week. Myself, my wife, and an NAD infusion has to be in there. So big shout out to DefyAge. That NAD infusion was crazy, next level.